Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this special webinar. I'm Meirav Biton, Product Training, and I'm here with Yonatan Ben-Knan, Pepperi's UX designer. Today, we'll show you the updates we've made to the web app user interface, and Yonatan will guide you with some of his best practices and tips for designing your Pepperi views and forms on the web app. We are gradually releasing the new UI to our customers, so you may not have seen it yet on your account. Just a quick refresher on what is the web app. It's the web version of the Pepperi app. It runs on any browser, mobile friendly, with all the same capabilities as the app. It's mainly used for B2B self-service e-commerce ordering. Pepperi's B2B e-commerce storefront allows you to give your customers access to their catalog and pricing for self-service ordering online. And our new UI design allows you to create a great looking website that provides a purchasing experience that's intuitive and fast. The web app can also be used for telesales agents working at a desktop on a browser or managers viewing reports from a desktop. Like I said, it's a gradual release, so you may not have seen it yet. However, you can preview and see how your current Pepperi configuration looks in the new UI. Simply log in as an admin to the web app at app.pepperi.com and add /support menu to the homepage URL and select the 1602 version from the menu. This won't affect any other users, and when you log out, your next login will be to the current version. So it's a way for you to preview the way things look temporarily. We're pretty sure that in most cases, your interface will look good with its current configuration, but you will definitely want to make some tweaks after hearing Yonatan's suggestions and tips. If you do the preview and you're very eager to move to the new version before it's rolled out to you, then let us know and we can permanently move you over at your request. I'd now like to introduce Yonatan, our head of design. Yonatan helps organizations improve their UX and product implementation. He has built user experiences for many platforms and brands and co-founded his own UX and design agency, Matnas Interactive.
Thank you, Meirav. Recently, we've been designing Pepperi's new design system, codename PDS, and today I'm proud to demonstrate the implementation of the new design live in the system. The new design system will be implemented incrementally, a few steps at a time. Right now, we have dealt with the implementations of the data view, which include tables, cards, and forms. Be it a case, I want to emphasize that we're going to see a mixture of some new things and some familiar things. Another point worth mentioning is that PDS is backward compatible. That is, one of the requirements was to support the current configuration, so you won't have to tweak the settings too much once the new UI will roll out. Okay, so let's jump right in. In this section, we'll review the card view, the medium card view, and the small card view, and the line view as well. All of these views are using the same card component. We're in the order center and we're viewing the medium thumbnail view. I'd like to talk about a concept called grouping, that is placing related pieces of information together. In this example, we can see that the information and the like button is one group, and the quantity selector and price discount and after discount is another group. Because we naturally see group, it makes sense to group related pieces of information as well. It makes it easier for the buyers to understand data that way. We also did it as a design approach. You can see each block, each card is separate with an elevation. You can see the hover. You can easily understand which content is related to which item, thus allowing for better scannability of the document. Let's go into the back office and see what we've got. Here we can see the label. Here we can see we don't have a label. I recommend aligning objects to the left. The wish list should be 2 rows high, as well as the quantity selector. It could be on 1 row, but the UX is less optimal for these kind of situations. The image, I will recommend the image without a label, aligned centered, and use the menu alignment icon to the top right or top left in order to save space. Otherwise, we would have used it inside a card, which is a shame. We've got this component right here for free. Also about the image, it should be about 5 or 6 rows high in card view. We've also added improvements to our alerts. Here we can see it in action in the quantity selector. If you have the settings to autofix in the transaction, then the message is clearly displayed, indicating the maximum quantity allowed. Let's go back to the storefront and see how we can use the labels with or without for our benefits. Let's see the small view. You can see that here we didn't use the labels, which makes the card a bit cleaner. Sometimes we can do without the labels. Let's take, for example, the price. The price has the dollar sign or the euro sign, which makes it very obvious to the buyer what kind of value he's looking at. But another value like discount, which represents percents, only 0%, so the buyer might get confused about 0% what. So do be mindful about when to use and when not to use labels. In card view, the go-to is not using labels at small views and using labels sparingly in the medium view. I would like to say a few words about mobile devices. I think that the best view for mobile device is the medium card view. Let's see how it works. It's working quite nicely. And I would also like to recommend you using as little views as possible. In most cases, the medium card view will work nicely for both the desktop and the mobile devices. So I recommend you to use this. In the next example, we'll see how to configure a view especially for a mobile device. Next up is the item information page. Here the buyer can get the most information out of each product. Here you can go nuts with information. This page utilizes the form component as opposed to the card components we've seen earlier. In order to improve scannability of the page, we have positioned the field titles above the fields and not to the left of them. We have also narrowed down the total width of the page. Because of the large amount of content in this view, it is super important to use logical grouping for the field. Like the last example, group all pricing and discount fields together. Here you can see in this example the same behavior. The additional info is listed below. In the information view, always use labels. We designed the field to include the title above. If you will erase the label, there will be an undesirable empty space. And like in the card view, center align images as well. But unlike the card view, the info page should be configured to mobile as well. Let's do it together. I've already made this example, so let's see it firstly. So this is the regular view, which is made out of 2 main columns, and one of the columns separated into another 2 columns. Let's see it in the mobile view. You can see that the mobile view has only 1 column that is separated into 2 columns when the information is quite narrow. So let's go back into the studio and review what are the changes that has been made. I'm gonna create a new view by clicking the plus sign, and I will use the phablet, as we call it right now, for the mobile view. Once clicking OK, it will duplicate the basic configuration I copied from, in this case, the rep configuration. In this example, I'm using the private demo buyer, but other than that, it should be the same. So let's go in. So this is the phablet configuration, and we said we want to do it over one column with a split column in between. This one uses 3 columns, so let's do it together. Okay, so I want the title to be on. Next up is the image item. We're gonna lift it up here and drag it all the way to the end. We're gonna do the same for the other units. Yes. Here's the unit price, and here's the unit discount. And we're going to do the same for the details. I'm going to move it down here. Let's elongate these ones. Open. Yes. Nice. Very nice. I'm going to change the order of information. That is because the desktop view allows us to see many information pieces all together. In mobile view, we can only see it one piece at a time. So I think the price and the quantity selector are more important. So I'm going to leave them up. I'm just going to reverse the order. That's all. Great. Now we got that. And we have the phablet view. In order to see the updates, just go to your home page, hard refresh it, and go back to the same item. And you got it. Great. Next up is the grid line. So we're getting back into the storefront, and we're gonna click on the grid line. Nice. Here we see the configuration. We set up this particular grid line with the item information icon, the image, the description, additional pieces of information, the quantity, the unit quantity selector, and the wish list. You can see that the wish list is a bit different than everybody else. It has this gray background. This is an indication of a clickable area. Obviously, the unit quantity is clickable as well. We can see the amazing notification arrow. We can use it with the tab. We can use it with the enter sign to click back and forth with only using the keyboards. Okay, so for example, enter and shift enter will allow you to go quickly from one unit quantity to another. Nice. Like the item information here, is super crucial to configure the mobile view as well if you think your users are going to use it too, because this kind of grid line will not look nice at all at a mobile view. So we should consider something like so. I'm going to reduce the screen size into mobile view. And we can see here we've got a different configuration. This one is only showing the menu icon, the description, the price, and the unit quantity. The basic laws of UX says that you rather have something simple and clear, well, than something that is complicated and unclear. Fun fact, this is the basic premise of mobile first. Mobile first asks you to deal with the most crucial information because the real estate of the screen is physically limited. We can also see the grid in action in the card view. Okay, so I click the card and we can see it in here. Here it wasn't configured for mobile view, and we can see the ramifications. We shouldn't do these kind of things. But once we stretch it to the desktop view, we can see it quite nicely. And if we had configured that as well, so we wouldn't have this problem. Now let's move out of the order center to an activity form, in this case a contact us form. You can see the configuration for this contact us form, that on the left side we've added the non-editable information, and on the right side all the information you can edit, like the contact reason, the description, and attachment of an image, and receiving notification if any. Let's view the mobile configuration. A few other fields that are unique that we can review is the drop-down component. The paragraph text, we can see this icon that pops up the paragraph text as a modal unit for better readability. Another section I would like to review is the My Activity list. I went back to the home page and clicked My Activities. We can see it placed inside a grid line view. Of course, this is easily configurable. The new tables allow us to sort the values, to expand and to contract the items, to multi-select or to single select, and like we've seen on previous example, to edit if edit is possible. Cool, that was that. A brief overview of our new components. I would like to use this opportunity to briefly mention a few things that are heading up our way, and we'll be seeing them in the upcoming versions. I believe this will considerably enhance our user experience even more. This is all a part of our design efforts to build a better design system and to create a headless experience that is decoupling the presentational view from the data structure. This will enable us to create better and faster applications. In our design roadmap, there are map and calendar view, improvement to desktop and mobile view. This refers to the positioning of the top bar, smart filters, and the way they behave on desktop and mobile views to make the design more consistent and predictable. Also, the design of the top bar itself, where the card button is today. Also to be redesigned are the filters and the smart search. They are on the left side today. This is also a part of the layout efforts. An additional thing is better branding. For example, a configurable header that won't require HTML as it does today, and better control over your branding experience, be it the button colors and such. An overall redesign to the homepage, make it more e-commerce oriented in terms of using banners, campaigns, and product highlights. Well, before I'll be wrapping up, I would like to say a few final words. That the UX challenge we've been doing here is not for aesthetic reasons only. It does improve the bottom line, it does improve the business, both for you and for your clients and for Pepperi. And Pepperi itself is very configurable. It allows you to do a lot, but A lot of the times we need just very little, so bigger is not always better. You can win sales only using the medium card view. You just have to be mindful as about the content and the components you are using.